Hello everyone. In this video, I will be giving you all the 5 steps you need to learn anything. Not only will I be giving you the 5 steps, I will also give you a bonus step at the end of the video. So stick around. All you need to do is to go through the steps one by one. Whenever you're trying to learn anything new, the first thing you need to do is to make sure that you have all your learning resources ready. Be it your textbook or your notes, make sure you have everything you need. This makes you ready for step 1. Step 1 is what you need to do after you read the whole content. First thing is, you need to read the whole content line by line and you need to highlight the key points. Identifying the key points is a crucial factor. Usually, the key points are answers to questions like what, who, where, how, or when. Now, let's try to apply this step to this source of content. Here I have an excerpt about our national flag. Go through this line by line and your task is to identify the key points. After you go through this line by line, what can help you is to take a look at the lines that are answers to questions. For example, if the question is, what is our flag comprised of? The answer is going to be, the flag is comprised of 3 colors. Similarly, how many spokes does the wheel contain? So the answer to this would be the wheel contains 24 spokes. Identifying these answers is going to directly give you the key points of which you need to make a note of. This is step number 1. Step 2 directly follows identifying the key points. This is just making a list of those key points, that is, taking notes. You need a list of all the collected important points in one place so that it's always accessible to you. Make sure that your notes are clean, correct, and updated. Instead of copying somebody else's notes, it always helps if you try and make your own. After you have your notes ready, it brings us to step 3. Now, this step is very crucial but is unfortunately ignored by many. It is to actually understand the content that you're trying to learn. Understanding something allows you to make connection of the new content to pre-existing knowledge you already have. When compared to rote learning or learning by heart, understanding has been shown to give you better results and also it's going to help you remember longer. So step 3 is to understand whatever content you're trying to learn. This brings us to step 4. Your mind needs repetition of content to remember for prolonged periods of time. Recall and retention are positively affected by repetition. Repeatedly reading, writing, and then explaining the same content is going to help you remember for longer. So that is our step 4, repetition. This brings us to the final step, that is step 5, and this is probably the most important step after learning. It's self-testing. You need to keep track of how much you have actually learned. To do this, close your textbook, your notes, and all the resources. Take a blank sheet of paper and try to write down whatever you recall. Try to recall without any resources and then check up on how much you can remember. You can also use exercises to see it for yourself how much you have learned. That brings us to the end of the 5 steps that is to highlight, take notes, understand, repeat, and self test. This brings us to the bonus step. This step can be applied before you decide on the content that you're trying to tackle that day. This step is nothing but chunking. Chunking helps you to divide a large piece of content into smaller pieces so that you can attack it piece by piece. This strategy is also known as divide and conquer. The parts are always smaller than the whole. Using these strategies, you can learn anything easily if you go through them step by step. For more tips and strategies, like, share, and subscribe. I will see you all in the next video.